And speaking of playing out your own adventure, it's time for our final four.
Woohoo.
Ryan, hit the open. Da 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 da. Final four. All right. Who wants to go first?
I'll go.
Okay.
Okay, so kind of a fun one. Um, yeah, just some people that have a lot of power and pack a lot of punch. I have Charlotte Flair, aka my Iron Woman, Liv Morgan, Jade,
Oh,
and Bianca.
Wow.
hmm
that's a strong one right there.
Well, initially I had Rhea in all this, and Matt seen me type this out, and he goes, "Think it through. What
Yeah.
just happened?" And I was like, "Ooh," and that changed everything because I was like, "I have Rhea winning the Royal Rumble," and he's like, "Think about that," and I was like, "Oh,
Like, oh, that's spicy. I mean, they could,
Listen,
but
it could, yeah."
I'm sure Triple H would want to.
Brock's done it.
Brock did it.
Well,
You
no,
know.
he wasn't champion yet. He got the championship at
Well,
Elimination Chamber.
he
He was
entered though.
champion in spirit.
No,
Mm.
2020 when he
Oh
entered.
yeah, and yeah, that was Drew's year.
Yeah, when he entered as champion, he didn't win, but he entered. Um, I have two who are the same as you. I have the EST of WWE, Bianca Belair, because quite frankly, I think Bianca is freaking awesome. And then I also have Charlotte Flair. Woo! My other two that you did not have, I have Becky Lynch making her big return, making the final four. And then I have Roxy. I have Roxanne Perez in that final four.
Oh, I like
Um,
that.
I think it's kind of a thing across both of my rumbles where it's like the big stars come to play at the end here. And so I thought, you know what, let me sneak in one like fun, exciting up and comer into a final four because my men's one won't have an up and comer. So the women's one, because it really does feel like right now, like I'm trying to almost like draw a comparison. It almost feels a little bit of like an end of season of my GM mode where it's like you've got to a point now where you have built up all these stars, so your big stars get to do all the big star stuff now. So Roxy's kind of the one who kind of gets slid in there though, but Triple H has done a really good job building up here and having a lot of big stars. So yeah, that's my final four though, with Charlotte, Becky, Bianca, and Roxanne. Peter, how was your entire final four of NXT stars?
How did you know? No. Some of them are former NXT. Actually, all four of them are former NXT stars, but who is it? So I have Charlotte Becky, I have Bailey, and I have Io Shirai. Sorry, Sky.
Oh,
We have to call her Sky now.
it's better as Sky.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know.
real quick,
Shirai scares me.
hot take. Most of the like name changes that a lot of people got really upset over have actually been for the best.
I'd say so.
I think Gunther is a much better name than Walter.
Took a while to get used to, but now I'm like, yeah, Gunther just sounds more fun.
Yeah, and also does not draw a natural comparison to a grumpy old man from Jeff Dunham.
Yeah,
There's a throwback.
right.
All right,
I haven't
Peter.
thought of that in years.
We love it here. Yeah. I'm sorry. I did not mean to totally derail us here. Peter, go ahead then. So remind me on your final four and then go ahead and give us your final two.
Oh, it's the three remaining horsewomen and Io Sky.
That's right.
All right, yep, go to
And
final two and winner.
What's your final two?
So my final two is more so going to be very quick because I think the three horsewomen will have, some issues with one another. I know Becky and Charlotte hugged, but that was 2 years ago. That storyline is dead. So I have Bailey eliminating Charlotte and Becky, who are fighting on the outside or on the ropes, and that will leave Io the very quick opportunity to eliminate Bailey. So I have Io Sky winning the 2025 Women's Royal Rumble.
That's so much fun. I love Io, and like, I think she would probably go challenge Tiff. Right? Would probably be.
That's what I want. I think that will be a fantastic match.
They're just
Yeah.
gonna fly everywhere.
And they had that moment back at War Games. I also love about that how you have the Bailey and Io ending, right? Like, the damage control, circling back around, you're right. Bailey winning the Rumble, taking Io's
Right.
title, following year
It'll
at
be
the
very
Rumble.
it'll be very, very brief, but it's the optics still went out.
Yeah, for sure. And I also like, I feel like in a lot of ways, out of the four horsewomen, Bailey kind of gets the shaft on a lot of it.
Right.
Sometimes it feels.
Unfortunately.
So seeing Bailey eliminate Becky and Charlotte would also be quite a bit of fun. Rebecca, was your final two? Well, recap your final four for us, and then give us who your final two and your winner.
Okay, I had Charlotte, Liv Morgan, Jade, and Bianca. I have no idea how we get here. I just write names down. We get down to Liv and Jade, and then my 2025 Royal Rumble winner is Liv Morgan.
Oh,
If
And
it's
then
Liv
I think
versus Rhea again,
I don't think so. I think she goes after Tiffany.
good.
I think it's one of
Yeah.
those where it's like she's over it and she's like, I want to hold the other title.
Yeah, yeah, and that'd be a good motivation there. To be like, hey, I wanted the other one
Mhm.
that I didn't have.
I'll say
Um,
in War Games you can build off, how she almost, cashed in on Liv if it wasn't for Raquel
that's
getting
right.
involved. So there's an in there. There's a believable in.
And man, Jade Cargill being final two, like the visual of tiny blonde woman live,
I don't
like
I think
very-
it's a very like quick, like it's a fluke.
yeah.
How I think maybe like Jade's over like because every woman from themselves, maybe it's Jade eliminating Bianca and she's like, over the rail or what over the rope or
Mm.
whatever, and then, Jade just comes and then like, Jade's just caught off guard. It's nothing super crazy.
Yeah, she's so well, and if Bianca is a potential target, right, of Jade, then maybe she's so laser focused on Bianca that then Liv gets to take the opportunity. And
Hmm.
Liv be quite opportunistic here. So my final four, you get the Charlotte, Becky, Roxy, and Bianca. My final two then is a redo here between Big Time Bex and Bianca Belair. So kind of
Mm.
playing off that history a little bit. And then I've got Bianca, the EST, getting the win. And I know like the Jade thing, and like she's got the tag title, so she's a little tied up right now. But quite frankly, I'm ready for Bianca versus Rhea Ripley at WrestleMania. Like, not to say that they're getting old or anything like that, but like, dude,
We've been waiting for this for a while.
like not to like draw the biggest comparison I possibly can, but like, can you imagine if Rock and Austin like didn't have a WrestleMania match for as long as they took? Like, I kind of want like a trilogy of WrestleMania matches between these two, and we haven't even gotten one yet. So let's get on the horse a little bit here, Hunter. Like, come on, let's get a move on. So I've got Bianca, Rebecca has Liv, and Peter Lewis has EO for the women's Royal Rumbles. And now we're going to go ahead and shift gears and go on into the men's. So let's get into our final four here. And man, I tell you what, you think about the great quartets of like all time, right? You think about like, the Beatles or the Ninja Turtles. And I would argue my group of four here is on par with the Ninja Turtles. So I'm gonna go first here. I'm gonna set the bar high. All right. So I don't want any, Roxanne Perez's to show up in here, Peter, that are, gonna be embarrassed. I'm going head of the table, Roman Reigns,
Hmm.
the visionary, Seth freaking Rollins, Mr. Chasing the record, Cena wins law, and the Second City Saint, CM Punk.
That's
Yeah.
my final four, and we hadn't talked about this.
Wow. There you go.
That's so funny.
Peter, are we 3 for 3?
Oh no.
You were close. You were close.
Oh,
Oh.
I have CM Punk. I have the Tribal Chief, the OTC Roman Reigns. I have Doo Man John Cena. And I have Damian Priest.
oh, okay.
Oh. Okay.
That's
My
actually
my my thing with Rollins, and I hope they do this because it'll be so good. I want him to enter 30. I want him to go straight for Punk, almost ignoring everything else around him, and that's his downfall. He gets in a position where he can throw Punk over, but he doesn't look over his shoulder and, like, I don't know, maybe a Randy Orton, a Drew McIntyre throws him out. So his anger towards Punk cost him the Royal Rumble. I would love that spot.
Okay. I'll say you mentioned Drew there. Drew's the guy who I considered in that spot over Seth, but I decided there was just too much Seth Roman in the same ring. I just couldn't
I also
get away from it.
I also don't want Drew and Punk. That's again, it'll be great down the road, but we're done for the time being. So I would try to keep them away a bit.
I don't know about that because I mean, I could actually see a Rollins Punk Drew three-way at Mania. Especially if they can find a way to get the title off Gunther into that somehow between now and then. I can totally see that being a path.
Jay wins Saturday night, and he gets the 2006 Edge reign.
Yeah, and then Drew probably being the one to take it off of him quickly.
Oh yeah.
So how about that? Okay, so Rebecca, since me and you have the same final four, let's save me and you to go at the end. So Peter, you've got Roman, Damian Priest, John Cena, CM Punk. What is your final two?
I have been you have no idea how violently back and forth I was going on with this at work today when I should be doing my job. Sorry to my boss, Dan. I am going to lock in Chicago Man Punk and the OTC Roman Reigns.
Oh, okay, Peter, hold off. Don't give us your winner yet then. Okay?
Oh, absolutely not. No.
Rebecca, who are your final two?
CM Punk and Roman Reigns.
Whoa, you both acknowledge him. You are acknowledging with Paul Heyman and CM Punk. I am also going to go with CM Punk, and I will also be acknowledging the head of this company, John Cena.
Oh, dang.
Give me
Nice
he
swerve.
us.
I'm going Punk and Cena as my final two. So we all have CM Punk in the final two for a second year in a row. Okay. Who wants to go first on revealing their winner?
I'll go first. Because I already showed this to Peter, so it's not like he's missing anything. So I made a little sign today, and this is my winner, CM Punk. Chicago Man.
Oh, you know what? He can't see it because he's called in now.
Well, no, he saw it earlier, so
I
yeah, I don't have to. Yeah.
Oh, good.
So
Okay.
basically, for the audio listeners, I made a CM Punk painting, basically just of his hands crossed, with the tape and the X's, and I wrote "Cult of Personality" on it in red and blue. Hopefully, my best friend does not see this because it's gonna be a baby shower present for her and her little baby Punk. So we called her little girl before we found out it was a girl, but I said it is forever baby Punk. So yeah.
So Peter, that's one CM Punk. Chicago Man Peter, are you also going with CM Punk, or are you acknowledging your tribal chief?
I had a prop ready to go, and I got it at my first ever live basketball game back in December at the United Center. It is
in Chicago
Bulls hat. I am going with the Second City Saint, CM Punk.
All right, are we going 3 for 3?
You two disgust me.
I
am specifically wearing my St. Louis Blues hat tonight because Chicago Man wearing his Blackhawks hat the other night. Look, I picked him last year, and I didn't feel good about it. I didn't want it to happen. I cannot tell you how much more I would enjoy things if we are sitting there. Me and Rebecca are going to WrestleMania this year. I would much rather us be sitting there watching John Cena win his 17th world title this year
Mm-hmm.
as opposed to the Chicago man getting his Chicago way and yelling into the camera, Chicago, Chicago.
Well,
That being said, Peter,
Chicago.
that being said, Peter, he has
I I too have a prop.
a.
Oh, the tension.
Did you hear it?
No.
He
I
cracked open a cold can of.
Pepsi.
Oh. Oh.
I'm going with Pepsi, Phil.
Cheers.
Neon lights. Nobel Prize winner leader speaks.
Oh,
I
Peter,
think that's all I can say
you're too
before we
good of
get
a
a
singer.
copyright.
Yeah, we don't want to fool the AI copyright strike here. No, so yeah, we all have CM Punk. One thing I think is really interesting, we only have a few minutes left here, real quick. One thing that I personally had a real hang up on with picking Punk is what does that mean for the promise, right? For the favor that Paul Heyman owes CM Punk. I think that's a big, you know, a big piece of foreshadowing that I don't want it to be just like lost. I don't want it to be a loose end. And so if Punk does win the Royal Rumble, how does that play into things? I just don't know.
I will say especially in this Triple H era, he has been very good at long-term storytelling. Like there have
Right.
been little nuggets that have been planted and we don't find out for months or even years
Yeah.
later. And then it comes to fruition. We're like, look at the Triple H storytelling. And yeah, so I mean, if it's not settled in this quote unquote season, like, WrestleMania to WrestleMania per se. If it's not solved in that, I wouldn't be disappointed in it.
I would because we're going.
Okay, well, you make a
Selfishly.
point. So, yeah.
I will
Selfishly.
say, originally, I really wanted Cena to win because I love the idea of the guy who was christened the guy versus the guy who had to become the guy in Cody Rhodes. That
Sure.
is pinnacle storytelling. But I don't think John Cena is going to get a title run during this final retirement tour. That's just my gut. So
Oh.
I
I
can't
definitely
see it.
do. I do. I think he definitely
Okay.
breaks the record. I think if you're WWE, you'd much rather have it be on Mr. Make a Wish as opposed to Ric Flair.
Right. Sure.
Well, and we also can't forget we do have the Elimination Chamber. So if
Yeah.
Cena doesn't
Right.
win Rumble, well then he can just go and win the Elimination Chamber. So he still
He's
feasibly could
confirmed to be
face.
there.
Yeah.
We could feasibly still get the Cena Cody.
Yeah. Match
It
at
is,
Mania.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.